This is Kumbhalgarh Fort. Step into the majestic world of Kumbhalgarh Fort, one of Rajasthan's most spectacular hill forts and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Built in the 15th century by Maharana Kumbha of Mewar. If you love history, architecture, and epic travel stories, Kumbhalgarh Fort is a destination you must not miss. Kumbhalgarh Fort is one of Rajasthan's most powerful symbols of strength, strategy, and royal pride. Built between 1443 and 1458 and by the great Mewar ruler Rana Kumbha. This massive hill fort stands 1,100 meters above sea level in the Aravalli Ranges. Its 36 km long wall, the second longest continuous wall in the world, earned it the title, the Great Wall of India.
Kumbhalgarh Fort is surrounded by the Aravalli mountain range, one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. This fort stands high on the hills, which helped protect it from enemies long ago. From the top of the fort, you can see beautiful layers of mountains stretching far into the distance.
Badal Mahal means Palace of Clouds. It is located at the highest point of Kumbhalgarh Fort, where cool winds blow across the mountains. From here you can see the beautiful Aravalli hills stretching for many kilometers. The palace has colorful rooms, paintings, and large windows that allow fresh air and sunlight inside. It was used as a royal residence and a lookout point to watch the surrounding lands.
Kumbhalgarh Fort is also famous for having more than 360 temples inside the fort walls. Around 300 of them are Jain temples and the rest are Hindu temples. These temples show that people from different religions have lived peacefully inside the fort. Many of the Jain temples have beautiful carvings and ancient stone architecture that are hundreds of years old.
Kumbhalgarh Fort is not just about the massive wall. Inside the fort, there are palaces, temples, water systems, and defensive structures that show how people lived safely inside the fort during wars. Today we are visiting the beautiful Ranakpur Jain Temple, one of the most amazing temples in Rajasthan. This temple is located in a peaceful valley of the Aravalli Mountains, about 90 kilometers from Udaipur and not far from Kumbhalgarh Fort. The temple was built in the 15th century around 1437 AD by a Jain businessman named Dharna Shah. With the support of the ruler Rana Kumbha, Ranakpur temple is dedicated to Adinath, the first spiritual teacher in Jainism. The temple is famous for its incredible marble architecture and detailed carvings. One of the most fascinating things about the temple is its 1,444 marble pillars. And amazingly, no two pillars are exactly the same. Another fascinating feature of the beautiful Ranakpur Jain temple is the magnificent elephant statues carved from white marble. These elephants are placed near the entrances and important areas of the temple. In Indian culture, elephants represent strength, wisdom, and protection.
As we travel through the colorful lands of Rajasthan, something amazing begins to happen. Every city feels like it has its own special color and personality. Some cities glow in golden sand, some shine in white marble, and others rise from the desert in magnificent stone forts. But as we continue our journey, the landscape slowly starts to change again. And suddenly, in the distance, we begin to see a sea of blue houses spreading across the hills. Welcome to Jodhpur, famously known as the Blue City. Hundreds and hundreds of homes in the old town are painted bright blue, creating a magical view that surrounds the mighty Maharanga Fort, which stands proudly above the city like a giant guardian. No matter where you look, the color blue stretches through the streets, rooftops, and narrow alleys, almost like the city itself is painted with the color of the sky. Traveling from one city to another in Rajasthan feels like turning pages of a living story. Where every place has its own color, history, and wonder. And today, we are about to explore one of the most beautiful chapters of that story, the magical blue city of Jodhpur. One of the most beautiful places to walk in Jodhpur is the famous Blue Lane. This narrow street is surrounded by houses painted in different shades of bright blue. When you walk through the lane, almost feels like you are walking inside a river of blue buildings. more than enough to let the light in. The way you're making me feel, it's divine. It's enough to let it flow, let it be. 'Cause you're everything that I crave in this life. 'Cause we're everything we can find in another life. Take my hand and my promises, they're yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you. Keep my heart and my honor is yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you for the rest of my life. My life. For the rest of my life. Standing proudly at the heart of the Blue City, the Gunter Guard Clock Tower of Jodhpur is more than just a timekeeper. It is the beating pulse of the city's vibrant life. Built during the reign of Maharaja Sardar Singh in the late 19th century.
As we climbed higher and higher above the city of Jodhpur, something incredible appeared in front of us. The mighty Mehrangarh Fort, perched high on a rocky hill. This giant fortress has been watching over the Blue City for more than 500 years. Its enormous stone walls rise straight from the cliffs, making it look almost impossible for enemies to enter. As we walked deeper into Mehrangarh Fort, we reached a gate called Lohapur, the Iron Gate. But something on the wall beside it caught our attention. Small handprints pressed into the stone. These were not decorations. Hundreds of years ago, when a king of Jodhpur passed away, some of his queens followed an ancient tradition called sati. Before leaving the fort for the final time, they placed their hands on this wall, leaving behind their handprints as a memory. Standing there, looking at those prints, we realized something powerful. This gate was not just part of the fort, it was a silent witness to a deeply emotional moment in history. Suraj Pol, meaning Gate of the Sun, is one of the most important gates inside the magnificent Mehrangarh Fort in Jodhpur. The name comes from Surya, the sun god, because the royal Rathod dynasty of Mawa believed they were descendants of the sun. For them, the sun symbol represented power, protection, and royal heritage. After passing through the great gates, we finally stepped inside the heart of Mehrangarh Fort. Suddenly, the strong walls opened into beautiful courtyards and royal palaces. Golden halls, carved balconies, and colorful windows surrounded us. Walking through these ancient halls felt like exploring a royal palace frozen in time. Inside the fort, we saw many amazing palace rooms. Pool Mahal is considered one of the most beautiful rooms in the entire fort. It was built in the 18th century by Maharaja Abhay Singh and used as a private audience hall for royal entertainment and meetings. Wooden ceiling beams are decorated and often hung with glass ornaments or lamps which reflected light during night performances. As we stepped into the Sheesh Mahal, the mirror palace reflecting every ray of light in sparkling patterns. Hundreds of years ago, when lamps were lit in this room, the reflections would dance across the walls like stars in the night sky. This room is called Moti Mahal, which means Pearl Palace. Long ago, this was the place where the king of Jodhpur held his royal meetings and court sessions. The king would sit on his throne while ministers and visitors stood in front of him. The windows have colorful glass that makes the room bright and beautiful. As we explored the palace galleries of Mehrangarh Fort, we noticed beautiful paintings hanging on the walls. Each painting showed a different moment from the past. Colors were bright and the tiny details made every painting look alive. Inside the museum of Mehrangarh Fort, we discovered a collection that brought the past to life. We saw something equally fascinating: the royal carriages and palanquins. Before modern cars existed, kings and queens traveled in these magnificent vehicles during grand royal processions. There were swords, shields, and spears that warriors used long ago to protect the kingdom. Some of the swords were beautifully decorated with gold and silver, reminding us that even tools of battle could be works of art. Rows of ancient swords and shields told stories of brave Rajput warriors who once defended this mighty fort. Inside the fort museum, we also saw very old coins. These coins were used by people in Jodhpur hundreds of years ago to buy and sell things. Some coins were made of silver or copper. and some special coins were made of gold. The coins had symbols and names of kings printed on them. In the museum, we also saw something called bidrivia. These are metal objects that look black but have beautiful silver designs on them. Inside the palace complex of Mehranga Fort in Jodhpur, there are several small heritage shops. Visitors can buy traditional Rajasthani handicrafts and items inspired by the royal culture of Marwar.
The journey from Mehranga Fort to Jaswant Tada is one of the most scenic walks in Jodhpur. The path winds gently along the rocky hill below the fort, surrounded by desert lands and natural stone formations. In front of Jaswant Tada lies a small, serene lake that reflects a white marble monument and surrounding hills. The monument is surrounded by green gardens and stone pathways where visitors can walk slowly and enjoy the peaceful surroundings. Trees and flowers add color to the landscape, creating a refreshing contrast to the desert environment. The monument is built from finely carved white marble, which gives it a soft glowing appearance in sunlight. One of the most unique features is that the marble used here is extremely thin in some sections, allowing sunlight to pass through it. When light shines on the monument, the walls appear almost translucent and luminous. The building is made from shiny white marble. Even though it looks like a palace, it's actually a memorial built to honor the kings of Jodhpur. Around the monument, there are gardens and a small lake, making the place very peaceful. Standing outside Jaswant Tada, the beauty of the marble structure becomes truly remarkable. Elegant pillars support graceful domes, while delicate carvings decorate the white marble walls.